name is Tichin and I'm super excited to be a part of good food with good times. I'm from Sikkim and today I'll be sharing with you one of my most favorite recipe of all times, Ting Mo, that is steamed buns with Aloo Dum and Churpi Achar. Let's get started. So this is the Aloo Dum recipe that I'll be sharing, super simple. For this I've cut some pre-boiled potato cubes. Then I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of Kashmiri mirch, or you can use the halal as well. Then here I have a tablespoon of haldi, salt according to taste, and I've used some red coloring to give that beautiful red color to my potatoes. So the first thing that you need to do is mix all of them together. If you want to add more spice to it, then you can add more tikka lal or maybe pounded dried red chilies. To this I'm adding water and making it a paste. You can also add chopped garlic to it, but I like my aloo dum without garlic, so it's really up to you. So you make a fine paste out of it. In the meantime, I've already put the karai on the flame and have added about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can also use mustard oil for this. As you can see, it should be free of all lumps. Make it a little more thin. Alright, so this is done. Now your oil needs to heat for a while. Be very careful. Lower the flame before you add this mixture and make sure to switch on your exhaust fan because it's gonna be spicy. Put the flame up, stir it well, let the masalas cook so it leaves that raw smell from it, else the red chili powder will smell very raw. As you can see now, the sauce is beginning to thicken, and it's starting to separate from the oil. Give it a stir for another 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, now let's put in the boiled and pre-cut aloo. It is important that you use red food coloring in it, else you will not get this desired color. Even if you skip it out, the tikka lal and the Kashmiri powder would still manage to give that light tinge of red to it, but definitely you will not leave this much. Beautiful, isn't it? So once this is done, I'll be sharing with you the Churpi Achar recipe. Now I'll be showing you the recipe of Churpi Achar. So this is Churpi, this is a local cheese. If you do not have it, you can maybe use crumbled paneer for it. Then you have 1 big onion, 1 big tomato, a dollop of homemade butter, and some amazing Himalayan chilies that we call dalle. This is really spicy, so I'm just gonna put about 2 dalles in it. In the meanwhile, when you are doing this, heat a karai and add the butter to it. Soften butter. You can also add a little bit oil so that it doesn't burn, to prevent it from burning. Talking about homemade cheese, you can also make your own cheese. I'm adding a little bit of oil so that it doesn't burn. Talking about homemade cheese, this is called as Churpi and it's one of are super important Sikkimese ingredient. And you can also make this by curdling milk, by adding vinegar or maybe half a teaspoon of lemon juice to it. And you can hang it in a muslin or a cheesecloth overnight, and next day you can use that in place of this churpi. So let the butter melt for a while. Again, you can also add ginger and garlic to it, but I like my food super simple. Nice, frothy. Put in your onion, chopped onion. So saute it for a while. You can add about a teaspoon of salt to it. I'm not going to add any haldi or turmeric to it because I want the color to remain subtle. Now you add the tomato. Adding a little bit of red chili powder, just a little bit for that color, nothing else. I'm now gonna add the chilies along with its stalks. Now, time to add your churpi. So churpi, this goes really good with steamed rice, with roti, with parathas, with Ting Mo, of course. With Ting Mo, it's like a match made in heaven. With Ting Mo, then you can like just have it with anything. It's a chutney, basically a chutney. So this is how it looks like. So let's plate. So this is a well rested dough. So for this I've used 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoon of dry active yeast, a teaspoon of sugar and some lukewarm water. So what I've done is I've already proofed it for an hour and it's already doubled in size. So now let's get it rolling. So the simple way to make Ting Mo: first dust your work surface with flour and try to bring it to a triangular shape. Shouldn't stick to it. Now let's roll it. Try to roll it into a triangular shape. So I'm teaching you one way of folding the steamed buns, but there are many various other ways to do it. But this one, the one that I'm doing, is particularly my favorite because it forms good layers. It forms good layers when you are eating it. So once you've rolled it, you got to add some oil to it. For this I'm using the Raniwala oil flaxseed because this is really good and it's cold pressed. But if you don't have it, you can also use vegetable oil. I do not use mustard oil because it gives that yellowish tinge to the Ting Mo, which I don't like. So put a generous amount of oil. The reason why you put in the oil is because you do not want it to stick to each other. You know, you want, when you are breaking apart the Ting Mo, it needs to be fluffy and it needs to come apart. So you need to fold it once, 2 and 3. So I'm gonna make 4 Ting momos out of it. So cut it into 4 parts. So once you've cut it, just dust some flour in it again. Cut it into 6 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now lay the 3 strips on top of the other 3 this way. Yeah. Now hold it and so what happens is when you do this you get nice shapes. So you can just make it into a small shape like this. You see these layers that you get? So this is a pre-oiled steaming dish we have, which is called as mokto. So I'm going to use this. If you don't have it, you also get steamers with the rice cooker. You can use it as well. So let's make the remaining 3. Like I said, a cup of all-purpose flour yields about 4 Ting Mos. So these are already put in a pre-oiled moktos like I mentioned. And this is the base of the mokto. I already have some water boiling in it. So all I need to do is place these two, cover it up, and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. Now you can see the Ting Mo is already done, and the main reason that we put oil was to see these layers coming apart. So yeah, it's done. So now let's plate up. So this is what the end product looks like. This is the Aloo Dum, this is the Churpi Achar, and this is the Ting Mo. And you can see the layers. So if you don't add the oil to it, you get a clumpy form of it. So this is the beauty of it. Don't forget to add. I hope you try the recipe and enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you.